One thing I appreciate about the age we live in is you can mix so many different things.
Oh, yeah. Like, even though we're listening to the synthwave cover of E1M1,
Yeah.
or the Doom theme as it's obviously known as, I literally last night was just like YouTube random recommendations. And one of them was Halo and the Doom theme crossed over. And I'm like, all right, well, now I have to listen.
Right?
Yeah, it was fantastic, by the way. So look that up after this.
Yeah, the amount of talent out there, so I shouldn't say surprises me, but we give YouTube a lot of well-deserved flack.
In criticism.
Yeah, it allows for things like this.
Oh, it's amazing what you can find on this wonderful platform. But,
So, as we were discussing before
Yes.
the show, and we were making our highly detailed show notes.
oh, incredibly detailed. Like, we could write a novelization of them, I'm sure.
Are you ready to share your story of woe?
Oh, yes, my great tale of woe.
Yeah.
So, this past week, I had a concert. So, it was fantastic ska band, The Specials.
Okay.
They're performing live, and I'm like, man, I really want to see them. I love a lot of their music. They're just fantastic overall band.
Right.
So I get there. I'm running late because I spent 2 hours putting my stupid hair up into Liberty Spikes mohawk.
I would say the length is almost 2 feet.
I mean, including my chin, sure. No, it's about
it's
7
not-
inches.
My point is, I'm not saying it took you 15 minutes. It took you, what, like 2 hours?
Yeah. An hour and a half to 2 hours to spike it up. I used like Knox and Knox gelatin and like hairspray and hair gel and stuff.
Did your neck hurt by the end?
No,
How much?
I mean it's not like the hair is heavy or anything.
Well, no, I mean, how much, I would assume, like...
Oh, like leaning and everything?
Yeah, I can't think of the word leaning.
Well, because Liberty Spikes are literal just spikes
Yeah.
in a line, it's not as bad as like a mohawk where you have to lie down and like iron it or whatever.
Oh, so it's
But
more
I mean,
forgiving.
even then, you could also like put a mohawk up without ironing it. But regardless, so after this immense amount of time putting all this effort into my hair,
Right.
because I need to look pretty.
When you're going
Drive
out, you gotta
down.
look your best.
Oh yeah, drive down to the venue and get there, and it is literally the worst opening act I have ever heard. And not only that, it is the worst music I have ever heard. Like, I'm not a fan of country or like most EDM or like a lot of trash pop and like stuff like
Right.
that, but like this took the cake for the worst music I've ever heard.
Like, you can at least appreciate the artistry of a well-deserved country song or something.
Yeah, like it's not for me, but
Right.
like there's at least some talent there.
Yeah.
Like this dude. So paint a picture. Imagine this young black gentleman and in a flock of seagulls haircut.
Already like it.
But instead of typical like how they have it blonde with the things going,
Right.
it's dreads.
Oh, man.
That was the only entertaining thing was his hair.
Wow.
Because his song, I couldn't tell whether we were saying gas, glass, or some other thing. I don't know. Or Gus, I think he might have been saying. I'm not sure. But he keeps going, and this is the year of glass. I'm like, what do you... I don't know. It was like new age world music. Like he had a harmonica, a guitar, and he was playing. And this other dude in the background who's just playing bass.
Oh, wait, was it one of those things where his, like, harmonica is held on him?
Yeah,
and
he had one of the like
Yes.
Billy Joel like harmonica holder
Perfect.
or whatever. Yeah, so I had to deal with that.
Okay.
Luckily, because I spent so long on my hair, I arrived late and missed a lot of that
That's good.
nonsense. But so after he's done, also before this, I only heard one song, but I was there for like 15 minutes with him on stage. The song was maybe 4 minutes with
Wow.
him just like talking beforehand, going, yeah, and so it's real nice, guys, to be here. We got the specials, looked forward to with all this. And then, and so this next song is called The Year of God. I'm like, what did you say there? Year of God. I don't know. Anyway, so after that miserable experience,
Okay.
I'm like, all right, you know what? The specials are coming out. I'm going to skank to some real good ska. Some classic two-tone ska.
Right.
Like, I mean, what's his name? I think it's Jerry Dammers is the one who founded literally the two-tone label, which is why that whole era, the second wave of ska, is called two-tone.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. But, so I'm like real hyped because I love the specials.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is taking a while. It's just some trash venue music that they're playing before they come on. And it's like...
I always appreciate the music they play between bands.
Yeah, like sometimes some venues get it right. And they're playing
Right.
like something that's like pretty relevant to what you're seeing. And it's like enjoyable. This was like weird, just generic pop rock or whatever. I don't know.
It's like the elevator music of pop rock.
Yes. Precisely. And also some real just trash reggae. Like,
perfect.
I can dig some reggae.
Yeah.
Like, I like Bad Brains and the reggae they do and stuff like that.
Okay.
But, like, this was, like, just the most generic, like, is this even real reggae? Like, what am I listening to? I'm just lost in this. What is this?
This is like the reggae they play at Club Med when you have a pina colada.
Yeah,
Okay.
precisely. But, and also... At some point, the venue, like, switched to a DJ that was out on front of the stage. And she's just, like, there. She's not, like, getting the crowd into it. Like, she's the reason they were playing the pop trash rock whatever.
Okay.
Because I think she just, like, looked up music on Spotify and see what would play. Because also, she's not even paying attention to what's happening. Like, she's on her phone while she's, like, DJing. She's, like,
So she's
eating
really into
snacks
it.
and, like, drinking water while she's doing this. I'm like, what do you... All right, so this is why I'm having to suffer this music, because you're not doing your job. And so after an hour of this awful venue music...
Are you like standing in a sort of pit type thing?
Yeah,
too?
it's general admission at the venue. And so I'm just like standing there like, all right. Yeah, my back isn't feeling too fun right now.
Yeah.
Like, at least if there's a band up on stage, I'm like not going to notice it because I'm focusing on the band and the music.
Exactly.
Or I'll be running around in the pit. Not like there's going to be a pit for the specials, but, or I'm like skanking or whatever
Right.
to the music. Well, I'm just standing there like, for an hour listening to all of this nonsense. And I'm just suffering in this awful...
Your own private hell.
Yes, precisely. And after this hour of awfulness, the intercom comes on. Due to an unforeseen illness, one of the band members is unable to play. The show has been canceled. You can get your refunds in the box office, or if you bought your tickets online, they will automatically be refunded to you.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And the best part is, we're like, all right, sure, whatever, we'll go get the refund. We go out to the box office because we didn't want to pay the service fee of buying online because we're those people.
Yeah.
We go to the box office. It's like, box office is closed. We'll open tomorrow. We're like, we have to drive back to get our money. I'm like, oh my gosh. Luckily, I mean, the show got rescheduled to this upcoming Sunday.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, at least I still get to see the specials because it was like, it would have sucked to go through all that and not even get to see them.
Yeah.
But at least I get to see them. So I'm like, all right, hopefully they skip the opening act, first of all. Big plus if they skip that because the guy did his whole routine. I'm like, yeah, I don't need that anymore.
Right.
So as long as, like, I just want to see the specials. Like,
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
So the lesson learned here, kids. I don't really know.
Be wary when you go to concerts that things might just be
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is like the first bad concert I've had. Like, I've had no bad concert experience up
Oh, wow.
until that point. And I go to a lot of concerts.
You're pretty lucky.
Yeah. Like, all of the concerts I go to, I'm like, man, I had a good time. Like, some concerts are like amazing. Other ones,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I just kind of had a good time. It was all right show and stuff. But like,
Because the people involved in live music production
yeah.
are not exactly the cream of the crop.
I mean, depending on the venue.
That's
they can
true.
be
If it's
good.
like a really high one, then yeah.
Yeah, like,
But a lot of
smaller.
smaller, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't like a nothing venue. It was
That's true.
pretty prominent, but I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I'll deal with it. So, yeah, Joe, concerts, mostly good, except for when you go to the specials for the one show that they decide to cancel their tour.
That really sucks.
Yes.
Well, last night, Richard and I and a few of our other friends went and saw Godzilla.
Yes.
King of the Monsters.
Godzilla premiere.
That was my first Godzilla movie I'd ever seen. And I didn't even
Really?
realize it was a sequel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was just a night of learning and new experience. Of course, I'm familiar with Godzilla and everything.
Yes. I mean, he's a cultural icon. Like,
Right.
you can't, like, whoa, what is this Godzilla thing?
And why does it look like a guy in a rubber suit? Although last night was much more of like a Hollywood production. It
Yeah.
wasn't.
More updated
Yeah.
in terms of everything.
So what did you think of it?
So, unlike you, I had seen the previous in this sequel to Godzilla King of the Monsters. The first one,
So you didn't have as many questions when I first started watching it.
no, but I mean, it's not like there were all that many to begin with, other
Yeah,
than,
exactly.
well, monsters are here, and
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah.
And that's like all the setup you need.
Yeah, and they depicted that, so it's like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm on board.
So the first one is like just kind of like when Godzilla's on screen, it's fantastic.
Okay.
Like his roar sound design, I will admit, was a little bit better in the first one because like there's just a build up to his initial roar, and you're like, oh dang, that's crazy and amazing. So, but like they kept the same roar for the new one, and it was still fantastic.
Okay.
But Godzilla was on screen in the first movie very little, like very little.
Huh.
Like
What
there was
percentage of the movie would you say?
between like 7 to 9%.
Oh, that's
if
very
that.
precise. I like that.
Like-
So less than 10%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Wow, that's not
he's
very
not in the
much.
movie a whole lot. Like
Huh.
very, very sparse.
They should call it like Godzilla 10%.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to call a movie something, you kind of expect it to be
I
in
mean,
there.
the enemy monster, the Mutos,
Okay.
were in the movie a little bit more than Godzilla because they're like setting up these are the bad things that are destroying the world. Oh, Godzilla comes and he's going to save us through less destruction. So, but I mean, the thing is, in the new one, vastly improved. Just Godzilla alone has more screen time in this
yeah.
movie, like compared to how he had in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
But like the amount of monster on screen is a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
They still could have, I feel, trimmed the fat of like the human plot that's happening.
Yeah.
Like it definitely should have been there and still be there as like, all right, this is kind of adding a weight to it, I suppose,
Right.
or something like that. But they still could have like trimmed it away, like said, yeah, we'll cut away some more scenes.
Yeah. In the traditional Godzilla movies, is there a human story involved?
A little, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not like super the focus.
Right.
Like the first one from, what is it, like the 50s or the 60s or whatever?
61?
It's literally just a monster destruction movie
Okay.
of like, he arose from the nuclear war and is attacking Japan.
Right.
And everyone's running and all that. And it's like, how do we stop it? And kind of similar to how like the 2014 Godzilla was.
Okay.
So in that sense, I mean, a little less or a little more monster in it than that one. But yeah. So yeah, I'd say it's kind of around there.
Okay. Yeah, my impression of the movie was it was good. I was entertained. It was fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of explosions and everything.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't super familiar with the monsters going in because I don't know much of Godzilla lore or anything.
Yeah.
I know that there's like a big moth
Yeah.
that was in there.
Mothra,
and then
yes.
the multi-headed dragon.
Yes, King Ghidorah or
Out
Ghidorah.
of that,
any
I
of that.
had no idea who the other ones were.
Yeah.
Like the woolly mammoth one?
That one I hadn't seen. That one
Okay,
was
so
kinda
maybe that was
weird.
just made up for the movie.
Maybe. I don't
Okay.
know. Like I knew most of them. Like
okay.
Gamera I think was like hinted at, like it wasn't super in there. They
Okay.
had like King Ghidorah as like the main focal villain of the
Yeah.
film. Mothra is still pretty prominent in it. Like, they
'Cause
got all the big ones that
Okay.
people know.
Yeah, because what I know about Godzilla is mostly through memes and like reaction images. Like, I don't know the name of it or whatever. I just know that there's a Godzilla movie with little Godzilla.
Yeah.
And he's teaching him stuff, I think.
Yeah, Godzuki.
Yeah, because there's a meme of him like looking disappointed at him because he's like trying to teach him to shoot his laser beam or whatever that Godzilla does, and he doesn't do it.
Yeah. But like the only villains that they didn't really have in the movie or the monsters that they didn't have in the movie were like Mecha Godzilla
Okay.
and Mecha Ghidorah, just because those are like big
Yeah.
like robots, and that wouldn't have made sense in the plot. What was
Right.
there of a plot?
Plus, I mean, you don't want too much in one movie. They
Yeah.
can string it out a bit. And
Yeah.
make it out.
Yeah.
So my question is, for the mecha ones, do they actually build giant robot Godzilla?
Yes.
Wow.
I can't remember if people build it or like, I mean, they talk about it in the movie. Big spoilers for the all important plot of Godzilla, but
Yeah.
King Ghidorah is an alien,
Yeah.
as they mention, and I know aliens are a part of the franchise, like in the series and everything. So I think I can't remember if aliens build them
Oh,
or
okay.
anything.
Because it's funny, Japanese love giant robots and giant monsters.
Yes.
So I feel like Mecha Godzilla is the apotheosis of Japanese culture because it mixes everything.
Oh yeah, precisely.
Oh, if they made an anime Mecha Godzilla, then it would be everything.
Yeah. That's what we need. People make that, please. That's what we're asking for.
Let's get on that.
But as for the action in the film, it is fantastic.
Oh yeah, it. Did you see how long it was? I know it was
Two
over 2
hours.
hours.
It was about 2 hours and 12 minutes. I think
Okay.
I looked it up.
When it was over, I didn't realize 2 hours and 12 minutes had passed because it was that fast paced.
Yeah. Like, it is phenomenally well paced. Like,
Yeah.
like I said, they still could have trimmed some of the fat of the human plot line that's there.
Yeah, and I felt like the one woman who would explain everything. I felt like she needed to be cut
Yeah,
out.
but Dr. Chen or whatever, who's
Yeah.
like, "Hi, I'm Exposition, the character."
And she had no inflection in her voice or
Oh, yeah,
anything.
none.
It was just Mothra's here, and it's like I can tell she's here. I can see her outside the window.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Mothra's here to help Godzilla, to save Godzilla, and you're like, and she just comes in, Mothra is here to save Godzilla. You're like, I knew that. I kind of got that from Mothra being there.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of kids' movies.
Yeah.
Where they're explaining as they're doing something.
Yeah,
Maybe that was it.
yeah, maybe. But yeah, the action was fantastic.
Like, I thought it was awesome that fight where Godzilla ripped off, what's the three-headed dragon?
King Ghidorah.
You guys that are Godzilla fans are yelling at me. It's great how he ripped his head off.
Yeah,
And then it grew back.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, crap.
I mean, like, the part where he rips it off is like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and also the part where King Ghidorah, like, gets supercharged with electricity and it's just flying everywhere is, like, super dope.
Yeah.
Like, it was,
I mean,
so good.
obviously this is a movie with a lot of digital effects and
Yeah.
everything. But I thought it was well done.
Yeah, it's not like the 98 Godzilla, where it's like, wow, that's real looking. Like,
Yeah.
they did a really solid job with the CG. Like, it's not like Planet of the Apes level of realism where you're like, those just look like monkeys.
Yeah.
It's not like that, but it is still pretty solid.
Yeah. I was pretty happy with it.
Oh, yeah, it was,
Because movies that have a lot
So
of the digital stuff, I'm like, this isn't...
yeah.
I don't know if you want to call it the uncanny valley or what,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't...
Or it's just like, doesn't look real. It's just kind of, yeah.
It felt visceral. That's
Yeah.
what I'm looking for.
Yeah. It was so good. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially if you're a Godzilla fan.
I mean, even
I
if
think
you're
they-
not.
Yeah. I mean, I had never seen a Godzilla movie before this one, and I liked it.
Yeah. So just go see it.
Yeah.
Especially since they're doing Kong versus Godzilla soon.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention that. They totally Oh, first off, you have to watch all the way to the end through the credits because there's a little bit of.
I mean, you don't really need to.
A lot of
You
people
could
are
look
into
it up
that.
after and get the same moment. It's not like a cinematic, whoa, that's a great use of film to show what you could have told me in like 3 words.
Yeah, exactly. But the kids seem to like the after credits.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
I think it's a trick that Hollywood is trying to pull to get people to watch the credits.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
It almost certainly is.
Yeah.
But
It's funny watching older movies too because you'll watch credits and it's like 30 people.
yeah.
Obviously, there's more people in the movie, but
Or like Manos Hand of Fate, where it was like 7.
I think there really was 7 people working on that movie.
yeah.
Which, by the way, maybe another episode we'll talk about Manos and how great of a movie that is.
So
You need to watch it. And it's on YouTube for free.
yeah, the full
So,
movie.
Yeah, that's where we watched it.
All right, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So, what are we talking about? Oh, credits.
Yes.
Yeah. And now credits, it's like 5,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean,
With how many? I mean, hyperbole, but not too much.
Well, when you're watching the credits and it's like the assistant to the caterer.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, do we really need
Yeah.
that in the credits?
My favorite part in the credits was like Godzilla as himself,
was
Mothra
funny.
as herself.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I also kind of want to get into our friend who didn't get any of the subtlety. Like, I mean, you don't go into a Godzilla movie expecting like thematic elements and allegorical connections or any of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no deep literature devices, but any movie that's going to have some sort of interest to it will have
Yeah.
basic symbolism and imagery and
Yeah,
stuff. Just
and
to
stuff
kind of,
like that.
yeah,
And
because
so-
it's not a kid's movie.
Godzilla has some pretty like heavy-handed, I would say, Christ imagery.
Oh, yeah.
Of like the king died and was resurrected and then conquered, and then there was an angel that came to show the king coming back or whatever,
Yeah.
and the king was betrayed by the one he came to save or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's all of that in it, and even like a shot with like King Ghidorah, it was in the trailer with King Ghidorah like roaring on a volcano with a cross in the corner, and it's like,
Yeah.
and yet our friend is like, what Christ imagery when we were talking about it? I'm like, what do you mean, what Christ imagery? It was like the most heavy-handed thing. Like, I don't know if the Matrix
Yeah.
could have, like, is the only thing that's like more like Christ imagery
Yeah.
that I can think of. Like,
I mean, they literally had a scene where there's a cross, and then King Ghidorah is roaring at it
yeah,
like he's gonna rule the world or something.
yeah. It's like, how did you not see this? You watching the same movie?
Right.
Like I don't know how you could have missed it. Because it's like so blatantly obvious, especially with the way they even talk about something. Because like, who calls Godzilla the king?
Right.
Like, of the monsters, like, yeah, it's in the title, I guess, but like, how often are you calling him Godzilla the king?
Yeah, there was never a scene where they said Godzilla the king. Not even the exposition lady said that.
Yeah, but like at one point, like, again, spoiler for the all-important plot in Godzilla King of the Monsters,
Yeah.
but he literally is like dead, or not dead, but like on the verge of death or whatever.
He's hurt really, really, really bad.
Yeah, to the point of near death. They think
Yeah.
that he's dead.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he's actually alive, because Mothra comes and like signals, oh, Godzilla is there. He's
Yeah.
alive. He's okay. Mothra is trying to help or warn or whatever. So like as like the angel, like saying that about Jesus. But they're like, when Godzilla's down there, they're like, the king is dead, but we can revive him or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't expect Christ imagery in a Godzilla movie, but sure.
I mean, it works.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, even Mothra, it's... You have to see the scene, but it's like big, flowy wings that are glowing.
like super angelic, and like
Yeah.
light comes through the clouds as
Yeah.
Mothra arrives, and I'm like, wow, you could not be more heavy-handed unless you named Godzilla Jesus.
Right.
Like,
It was like a Baroque painting.
yes,
That's what it
it
made me
was.
think
It
of.
was true art.
Right.
But yeah,
But I liked it. I thought it was good.
Fantastic movie. Highly recommend. The plot doesn't matter, but like if you just want to see some awesome monsters fighting on screen, it's so good.
Oh, and massive destruction as well.
Yeah. Like Transformers is just kind of overkill with it.
Right. The mayhem.
Yeah. I would say this is kind of tastefully done.
Yeah.
As tastefully as ripping off the head of a 3-headed dragon is. Like,
true.
Anyway.
Because there's a guy who did a video. I'll try and find it and put it in the description. But he analyzes Michael Bay action versus the action in Mad Max. And it's interesting because in a Michael Bay movie, there's just so much going on, you don't even know where to look.
Yeah.
But in Mad Max, the newer one...
George Miller is a fantastic director.
Yeah.
Like, the Mad Max series is literally my favorite movies of all time, without a doubt. There is no competition.
What about Happy Feet?
I mean, George Miller, he makes everything great.
Yeah.
But, like, I've seen some of the videos where, like, he works with the camera so fantastically. Like, your eye is here, the next shot we transition, your eye is still focused over there, we'll bring the object you're focusing on to a new part of the screen, transition, you're still focusing there. Like, you can find, like, film analyses on YouTube about this, but it's like, George Miller is so great at directing. Like,
he actually uses the where the camera is and all the angles and everything to show you the story, as opposed to just explosions everywhere on the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, that was good. And so to bring it around to Godzilla, I feel it was more similar to the Mad Max style, where it's a city being demolished, but that still plays background to the fight that's going on.
Yeah.
Which I thought was good.
Yeah. Like, the fighting is so well done, like, choreographed, so to speak. Of, like, you're watching it, it's like, oh, dang, that's crazy. Whereas, like, again, with Transformers, like, everything is happening. I kind of lost all meaning to anything that's happening in this film.
Yeah.
Because at least, like, the human element in this is, like, kind of grounded. It's not, like I said, the best thing in the world, but you're not watching a Godzilla movie for that.
Yeah. Same
thing with the Transformers, but, like, the first Transformers does a pretty decent job of, like, grounding it in a human world. And the rest of them are like, wow, this is some big robots, guys.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when a kid goes and get frozen yogurt. And they mix everything together.
Yeah.
Each individual ingredient sounds good on its own.
Yeah.
But by the end of it, they have, like...
this brown goop.
Yeah.
You're like,
with every possible topping and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, just get things that work together to make a good whole.
Yeah. It's like... Yeah. So, highly recommend Godzilla. Can't recommend it enough.
Yeah. We should come up with our own movie, like thumbs up
series rating.
Yeah. We'll have to think of something.
Yeah. We'll come back and give you more detailed... Because I think we still need to come up with a title for our work stories.
Oh, yeah.
Other than just work stories. We'll come up with that too.
Yeah. We'll come up with a lot of stuff. It's a work in progress.
That's the title. Work in progress. That's our work stories is work in progress. That's it.
I like it.
Spectacular. All right, so we're down one title. We have a rating system to go still, though.
Yeah.
All right, we'll figure that out.
We're smart. We'll get it.
Yeah. We're very intelligent. We can watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
Is it time to play the goodbye?
I think it is. Lawrence Welk needs to sing us out.
Well, Richard, until we meet again.
Until then, goodbye.